Today I would like to confirm a long-held belief that I've had regarding one of the Marvel heroes, but I wanted it on record that this is in fact the case. So as you can check here, I have 12 cards, and what we're going to do together is we're going to randomize these cards, and I'm going to give you many choices. In fact, if you were here, I could have you do all of the mixing, actually. So why don't we go ahead and begin mixing the cards by doing what's called a left-right shuffle. And we'll allow you to tell me how to stack these. You want left on right? Okay, very good. We can also do something called, and if you were here, I would have you do it, something called a Klondike Shuffle. This is where you just push over some random number of cards from the top to bottom, bottom to top. Okay? And boy, is this scrambling things. Also, a Klondike Shuffle is actually a way to randomize cards in a way that the other shuffles don't, quite honestly. So that's a great shuffle. Okay, why don't we throw in some more where you're given choices here. So would you like, this time you would like right on left? Okay, very good. Why don't we do 3 piles? Just to really move these cards about so that no one knows where anything is. Should I stack from left to right or right to left? Right to left? Very good. We can even do 4 piles. If you'd like, we can do 4 piles. That would be just fine. Would you like left to right, right to left? We can also do something called a leapfrog. This is where you hop over the one next to it. You'd like to do a leapfrog? Which direction? Right to left? Okay, so this is how that would go. How would you like these stacked? Left on right? Okay, very good. Now, believe it or not, we can actually deal into 6 piles. Isn't that crazy? Okay, just like that. And how would you like these stacked? Left to right or right to left? Left to right, and just stack them consecutively or leapfrog. Oh, okay, you really have fallen in love with the leapfrog stacking. It's kind of a fun one, actually. Which way? Left on right still? Okay, that's just fine. Now, I would like to Klondike Shuffle pairs to the table. And what I want you to do is use your intuition to decide whether the cards within each pair should switch places. Okay, so what about this one? Switch them? Okay, that's great. How about this one? Leave it. Leave. Leave. Flip those, or switch those. Switch these two. Okay, which one would you like me to pick up first? That one? Okay. Bottom left. Top right. Okay. Bottom right. Top left, and then the one at the bottom. Okay, that's very good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to just deal the cards into 2 piles one last time, and we want to see where all of these choices that you have made have brought us. Okay, so here we're at the very end of our little experiment together. So what I'm going to do is just kind of reveal, oh, that's interesting, look at that. Matching Hulks. Okay. Wow, look, 2 Thors. Think about all of the mixing that we did. Now, there could be a whole bunch of Thors here or something silly, but 2 Spider-Mans matching up. Okay, that's a fail. Okay. Iron Man and a Joker. Okay. Oh, very good. Doctor Strange matched up, and Captain America matched up. Well, we seem to have one failure there, kind of a blatant one, but oh, now you may have noticed I have this piece of paper off to the side that has been there the whole time in camera view. Let's see, what does this piece of paper say? All the Marvel heroes will be matched up except for Iron Man, who will be paired up with the Joker. This exactly confirms what I've always believed. Iron Man is a Joker. He's always getting himself into trouble. He's always kind of messing around. His mind just works in a way that he's just fun-loving, but unpredictable, unfortunately. Okay, wow, very good. I'm feeling better about my belief regarding Iron Man. He is a true Joker. Okay, so how does this work? How does this work? So we're going to go ahead and kind of show you how it works right now. Some of the whys for different parts of this routine are talked about in the Hidden Structures Bootcamp series and other places on the Hidden Structures channel. So we won't give you all of the whys because there's quite a bit of background regarding the mathematics and really what's going on as we move these cards around. But I can certainly give you enough information that you can perform this right away. Okay, so what you need is you need 2 Spider-Men. Okay, and you can just kind of set these up ahead of time. The quantity of each of the cards that we need are listed over here. And then what we do is we just put them in pairs. Now the pairs, it doesn't actually matter in what order you stack those. So here I have 2 Spider-Men, 2 Hulks, 2 Captain Americas, 2 Thors, 2 Doctor Strange, and then I have an Iron Man followed by a Joker. Okay, so and we're considering this to be a pair here, right? So the pairings can actually be stacked in random order. So I have a list of what I've done right there, if that's helpful. Okay, now once you've created that packet, you're ready to go. Okay, so what you need to do is simply deal out the cards into a left pile and a right pile. Now if you think about it, because the cards were in pairs, what we're doing is we're creating 2 piles where at each level the 2 cards are of the same character except for Iron Man, and he's paired with the Joker. Okay, now when we stack these, this is called a 2 cycle with cycle length 6 because we have 6 elements on each half. Okay, so this is a 2 cycle now with cycle length 6. Well, cyclic packets are undisturbed or unperturbed by random cutting of the cards. Now, a Chardelier shuffle, as you can check on my channel, I have a separate video on the Chardelier shuffle, which is what I'm doing right now, and I'm going to show you how to do it, is equivalent to an ordinary cutting of the cards. So all of that movement is actually equivalent to finding some location in the packet, cutting off that portion, and then reversing the order of those halves. Okay, so that won't hurt the cyclic structure. It won't hurt the organization of the cards. It will rearrange them, but it won't undermine what it is we would like to do. Okay, we follow that up with something called a Klondike Shuffle. Now for those who have looked at the Hidden Structures online course, you'll recognize this step as immediately changing the packet that was a 2 cycle into a mirrored structure, Now it ends up that, quote, mirrored structures are preserved by any of the shuffles down here, and that's because of the stay stack principle. So if you want to kind of look into that, that's a very powerful principle in mathematical card magic. So what it means is we can deal this packet of 12 cards out into as many piles as we like, as long as the number of piles that we've dealt out is a divisor of 12. So the divisors of 12 are 2, 3, 4, and 6. Okay, and so that's why we dealt into 2 piles, 3 piles, 4, and even 6 piles. And then you can actually stack from left to right or right to left. Why don't we just do, we'll do 4. Okay, so I don't know if we need to redo the whole thing because you can rewatch the performance itself. So you can stack from right to left, left to right. That won't affect the, quote, mirrored structure. You can actually do this leapfrog, which is really fun. You jump over the one next to it. This one jumps over that one, and then amazingly random stacking here. It won't hurt anything. Okay, so we could have done that for 6 piles. Okay, the other thing I guess I want to point out is that we can actually deal down too. Maybe I'll mention that in subsequent videos, but we don't necessarily have to deal out, let's say 3 piles from left to right and build it up that way. We could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 to get our 12 cards, and then stack in the way that we've described here. Okay, so we can deal across or down. Now from here, what we did was we just Klondike pairs to the table. Now, if you think about it, if you're aware of what mirrored structures are, what will happen is at this point, these will be of the same kind, except in their case, Bernard, who's a big fat joker, right? These will all be of the same kind here. And they'll be paired in the way that we set them up at the beginning. Isn't that amazing? Now, you don't show the spectator this. I'm just showing you under the hood as to what's going on. Well, if you think about it, you know, with these face down, and we allow the spectator to switch the order of some of these using their intuition, it won't actually matter. It won't change the fact that the pairings that we want are here. So they can say, oh, okay, I want those 2 switched. Very good. These 2 switched. And maybe this switched down here and the others left alone. It won't hurt anything. Now, because these are pairs that we want, it actually doesn't matter in what order we stack these. That can be freely decided by the spectator. Wow, most remarkable. So once we've rebuilt that, in some ways, if you think about it, we're all the way back to a kind of structure that we started with. This is called an AMP. AMP stands for Adjacent Mirrored Pairs, and the language of the hidden structures material. Okay, so in some sense, we've returned here in terms of the overall organization of the cards. We're back to this kind of situation. Isn't that amazing? So now if we just do a left-right deal, we'll be putting the cards that were paired on the same level within these 2 piles, so that when we go ahead and reveal these, they will all match according to our special pairing that we set up, actually. Okay, so the 2 Hulks and 2 Thors and, okay, 2 Doctor Strange. Now, believe it or not, this was just serendipity. But in what I've just done here, it's turning out to be kind of the ideal ending. Because really, as we mix these cards, we really won't know whether Iron Man and the Joker are at the bottom, which is where they started. We won't know that. They could be anywhere. And in the performance, they weren't at the bottom. But boy, Lady Luck was smiling upon us today, because the very last 2 are kind of the exception to the rule, right? And so the spectator may look at that and go, well, it's very interesting that you matched up all of those, but what's this Joker paired with the Iron Man? What's that all about? And so that's when you bring out your prediction, which clearly states that all of them will be matched up perfectly, except for Iron Man, who will be paired with the Joker, confirming your suspicion that Iron Man is indeed a Joker. So that's the performance, and that's a kind of overview of the mechanics of it. There's many principles being used that are talked about in the Hidden Structures online course, and also in the Boot Camp Hidden Structures set of videos. So I encourage you to watch those if you want to learn more about the mathematics and have a greater sense of ownership as to kind of what's going on and why it does what it does. I think it just gives you confidence to do what we're doing here, and you'll know that if you follow the principles taught, you're guaranteed to end in the way that you wanted. So I appreciate you watching, and take a look at other videos on the Hidden Structures channel.